Hi guys, happy Tuesday car share. I'm sorry for the light. It's almost midday, so the light is really high, but it reflects. But I think it's nice. It's also nice to have the sun. I don't really care. But anyway, you have to hear me, not really see me. And so I wanted to share something really cool today. I had a really good morning. I did my last marking of papers at the Energetic Health Institute, where I am a teaching assistant, realizing that I actually have so much work to do. I have so much writing to do for my own book that I have to finish, for my blog that I have to edit a couple of articles, and there's so many things I want to do. I mean, I honestly wish I had a ghostwriter sometimes, just because I can talk to that person about what I want to write and then they can just write it. But it's not happening, so there you go. I also would like to have a videographer. There's a lot of things I like to have. But you know what? We come into the end of 2023, and this is the thing that I actually prompted me kind of to do the video today. Whatever happened this year, I really didn't plan any of it. It's so funny because sometimes you just plan for things to go in a certain way, and you want them to go in a certain way. And I had no idea I would open my studio in Braga, but I also feel so blessed because it really took me back to one of my strengths, which is creating relationships with people in person. During the lockdowns, everything moved online, and really served me because I was still, I needed to heal. I was physically, mentally, spiritually unwell, and so I had to really spend time on the mountain, which was the most healing thing. I'm looking forward to having a weekend at home because I need to really be in nature and walk. I'm still debating. I was invited for a meal on Sunday and Saturday and Monday, and I want to go, but maybe I will balance it out with going for a walk in nature. I don't know. I'm going to talk to my friends today, but and also we might go to a food bank in Porto with other friends. I am still waiting for the details. I'm going to check in today. I want to do something good of service, not because it's Christmas, because I don't celebrate it, and I'm a little bit upset with the concept of Christmas because it's a lie that they've told people, and people celebrate the wrong things, and also consumerism does my head in. But I value the coming together of families because that's when everybody's off work, and so it's kind of nice that they have this opportunity to come together and spend time together, because oftentimes it's really impossible. People will even work on weekends. So I wanted to kind of share this because I feel this year has been so amazing in many ways, very challenging in other ways, mostly emotionally, but either way I'm in awe of the things that I brought back into my life, like community. And as I said, one of my strengths is to create people, like communication and contacts and friends in person. And the thing is that because I've changed so much, I managed to make friends that are actually better friends, because, and I don't mean this in a bad way, I don't need them. I want them. Like, I want to spend time with my friends. I want to spend time with the people I'm meeting because I connect with them at a very high level, but I don't need them. I'm perfectly fine on my own. And so because I don't need them, and I don't need the approval, I don't need to be liked, I'm just myself. And if they like me, they like me. And if they don't like me, they don't like me. And there are people that don't like me. Like, I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and I don't really care. But because that's just life. And it's so funny because Chantal in her 20s was just making herself so small to be liked by everybody, and I was making myself too available to everyone, giving what I didn't even have energetically to be liked. And now I'm like, boundaries. And so I'm so proud of myself for that, and I think it really reflects in the work that I do and how I can help people, and the people I'm attracting in my life, clients and friends alike. So I'm extremely happy. It also, that intuition, that inner calling has also helped me and is helping me to also let go of some relationships and some friendships and some clients even that perhaps are not a good fit, because ultimately we have to find our vibe. Like, we have to find the people that we truly connect with, and it needs to be a vibration. I'm going to quote Dr. Elizabeth because she really does say, well, there is a vibration within us, and when we are connecting with like-minded people, that vibration is very high, and you feel it. You have that explains it so beautifully. You have to listen to the podcast interview because she shares wisdom in a beautiful way. And I really love Dr. Elizabeth. She's a good friend, and we just connected. Like, and that vibration was there, right? So that was nice. And you just happen to just love people that you meet and connect with. And even with my guests on the Green Life, some of them are really connected deeply with. And there might be things that we will do together in the future, which I'm really looking forward to. But most importantly is that everybody's trying to really help. Because one thing that I've noticed, and this is equally important in my friendships as well as my clients, is that the people that are connected to me now understand that they need to take ownership and responsibility for their path, whether that's in healing, physically, mentally, spiritually, whatever it is. And I value that a lot, because one thing that I've noticed that I really can't deal with is when people are in a victim mode, and because of that they manipulate others. I see this a lot. I see this with teenagers, I see this with adults, I see this with male and female clients and friends, and or ex-friends, and even family, right? You have to at some point take responsibility and accountability for your own life, everything in it. Crying about it and being upset about it, you do that when you realize, shit, I fucked up and I need to really I need to course correct. That's normal. But if you stay in that state, that becomes victimhood. And when you are in that state, that's really acidic, and so for the entire body. So taking responsibility in our healing journey, and that's what I wanted to talk to you about, it's so key. Because it's the difference between knowing that there is a problem and doing something about it. One thing that I've learned throughout the years, especially in the last couple of years, is we learn a lot. I think we're exposed to so much information, so we have access to a lot of a wealth of knowledge, a lot of it. Like, it's everywhere if you look for it. But there's a difference between knowing things and then acting upon them. So the actionable steps are really key. And I think this is where a lot of people get lost in translation, if you want to call it that, or lost in action, or lost in stillness. I see this with my clients, right? I see this a lot with my clients, where they would have read maybe or heard something on TV, read it on a magazine, and now they feel like this is knowledge that they have. Sometimes the knowledge is actually quite incorrect, and also, it doesn't matter who you are. Like, you can be a doctor, you can be just a person with a different career who doesn't understand anything about the body. It doesn't matter. Everybody listens to information, learns about them, and then they don't dive into it, but they feel like they know it, but they actually don't even apply it to themselves, because sometimes our bias can stop us from taking action. So if that piece of information is supporting where we are at, then we stay there. And this can be really true for people that are in victimhood, because they have validated their status and they want to stay there, because changing means having to make an effort, getting out of your comfort zone, even though it's super uncomfortable to be where they are, because it's toxic, but it's more comfortable to be there than changing something. And that's when your health is just not going to get better. So one of the excuses, for example, where I know that somebody's just not ready for healing, is this is too hard. When we talk about eating fruit and raw vegetables, like raw salads, and taking the herbs, for example, if they can afford it, because your diet can be something that you can start with and then you can take herbs after, but they would just not do it. They would just make excuses, and not even like because they actually tried it, but like, oh my god, it's too hard. Like, I love meat too much. And it's like, okay, if you love meat too much, if you love eating this or that too much, that means you don't love your health enough, and that's okay. It's your prerogative. But then don't come and say you want to get better, because I don't have a magic wand, and also I cannot do miracles. I'm not Yeshua. So it's very important for people to take accountability, responsibility, and action upon what they want to achieve. So without that, nothing happens. And the thing that actually baffles me a lot when this happens is it's really a short-term thing that they have to do. Like most of the time they really just have to cleanse for 10 days to a month. Yes, in some cases it's longer, but you know what? You start with 10 days a month, and because you start feeling better after maybe having your healing crisis, which we'll talk about right now, you can extend it and it won't be an effort. But I always start with 10 days because generally that's how long the herbs last anyway. 2 weeks maximum, depends if you have the capsule. The capsules will last you 2 weeks. The drops, the tinctures will last you about 10 days because of the amounts that we take. But the tinctures are stronger, I feel, and I actually like them better because of that. But people will just freak out, if you tell them that they have to do a long-term thing. So you tell them 10 days, and even 10 days for some people is too much. And it's like, okay, so what is your health worth to you then? Because if you can make a sacrifice for a very short term when you have your whole life to have pizza and pasta and whatever, if you want to, which I hope they don't after they've cleansed the body and they get that, then what is your health worth to you? And sometimes people don't really know. They don't know because they haven't really thought about it. And this goes back to the spiritual side where they haven't really connected to their spirit living in this body and be like, hey, listen, I have a mission here on this planet, but I can't do shit if you're not healthy. And they don't listen to that voice, right? So they think that they're just bodies and they can take a pill, and because the symptoms will subdue, they're like, I'm fine, and then they're not fine. And that, the ripple effect and the real impact, they don't really understand it. Sadly, that's the truth, and that's how it works, and what can you do? But I also equally believe that there are people that are ready for that, and those are the people that I'm lucky to work with. When they are in, I know they're doing the work, I know they're making an effort, and I absolutely love it because they are the ones that really shine through, and that shining through brings joy to me because it means they've taken responsibility for it. And sometimes, you have to navigate the ones that are also midway, like the ones that are one step in, one step out, one foot in, one foot out. That's okay, that's better than nothing. But they stall themselves. But being in a victim mode is definitely not the right way to go about it. That's when you're not taking responsibility for anything in your life. That's not just your health, that's everything. Everything is happening to me. No, you make it happen because you're not taking actions to change what's happening that doesn't work for you. You have to take responsibility for the good things and for the bad things because all of them come with a ripple effect. I think that's really the very, very true reality of life. Everything comes with a ripple effect, whether it's good or bad, and we have to take responsibility for both. So I wanted to share this because I think it's a very important message, especially as we get into 2024. If you're making resolutions for the 1st of January, 30 days cleanse, diet, blah, 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 please don't. Make one commitment to yourself instead of a resolution. Commit to taking accountability for your actions, whether they're good or bad. Commit to making sure that you perhaps think about what you value most. If it's your health, then give it real value. That value that is tangible. That means, what actions can I take to get better if I'm not well? What actions can I take to become a better person if I'm not where I want to be? What actions can I take to change my career, my relationship if I'm not happy? Take action and put that value on it, the actionable value, and then just work towards making those changes without the timeline. Doesn't have to be the 1st of January. Who the fuck cares? Like, it can be whenever. Like, that's the beautiful thing about the whole process. It can be whenever. So do that and truly embrace that you are taking responsibility for it, and that's where it starts. Okay, so I wanted to share this, and I hope you're having a great day. And I have to talk about healing crisis. Okay, darn, I didn't want to forget that one. So when we are cleansing our body, we can I'll do another video about healing crisis because it's like a whole different thing. So I'll switch this off, start that on 2 different videos, bonus. So I'll see you in a second.